sounds a bit silly because I just had a hair transplant. I would actually rather be bald than take finasteride.
He's got some fair points, but there's actually a lot more to this story. Today we're going to be breaking down this video by this guy who had a hair transplant about a year ago to see whether skipping finasteride is for everyone or just for some after having this procedure. For anyone who isn't familiar with finasteride, it is still FDA approved. It's being looked at by the European Medicines Agency, but it's currently used for enlarged prostate, and also more pertinently in this particular video on this particular channel, it is used to reduce the amount of DHT in your body by about 72%, and thus reducing the amount of DHT which binds to follicles on the top of your head, which causes hair shrinkage, which causes male pattern baldness. Sounds like a miracle drug, right? Well, it's not, unfortunately, because the number of side effects that people get seem to be growing by the day. And no, this is not some crazy conspiracy. It's literally being investigated by actual medicines agencies because people are getting so many side effects. Now, I'm going to show you guys a video of this guy's hair before he had the hair transplant so you can get an idea of the amount of shedding that he was experiencing, because frankly, like the amount of natural hair that you still have on the top of your head is really important when it comes to actually using finasteride ongoingly after having a hair transplant. So you can see from this video that he made that he does still have a fair amount of hair on the top of his head pre-transplant. Yes, there's quite a big widow's peak. It looks as if he's probably got a fair bit of thinning in the crown, but other than that, I would probably say he's anywhere between a Norwood 3 and a Norwood 4. So now we're going to watch the video that he's made where he's actually discussing why he doesn't take finasteride, which is usually recommended for people after having a hair transplant. He explains his rationale. I'm not going to interrupt during the video. I want you to watch the whole video because I think it's really important to get first-hand views of people who have had a transplant but don't want to take finasteride.
Why don't I take finasteride? So I get a lot of comments about this because I basically say that I don't take finasteride. I just want to clarify, I'm not anti-finasteride and I'm not pro-finasteride. I don't promote it, and I don't tell people not to take it. If anything, I would say to people, research it, and the risk is yours to take if you want to try finasteride, but there are risks because obviously finasteride blocks DHT, and obviously that's very important in a man in many different aspects. Of course, DHT does affect your hair. That's the only sort of cause of why your hair will recede. It's down to DHT. But yeah, the reason I don't take it is because I had side effects, and I don't see the appeal in having hair and feeling like shit, basically. You know, having no libido, being depressed, all of those things do not appeal to me. I quickly got off of it, and slowly over time I started to feel a little bit better. There have been reports that people have lasting effects when it comes to finasteride, and they can take it, come off of it, and still have lasting effects. Some say it's placebo and they just think about it, but you know, who's to know? For me personally, it sounds a bit silly because I just had a hair transplant. I would actually rather be bald than take finasteride and experience the side effects I experienced. Again, sounds a bit silly to some, but this hairline is not going anywhere. So even if I did buzz my head like I was previously, even if I was going even shorter and going completely bald, I will still have a very faint hairline. And like I said, I would just rather that than have the side effects that I did. There are other ways that you can help prevent hair loss. There are many other ways that don't include finasteride. I personally want to go down the route of natural methods, and a lot of people again will say how silly it is, but my hair loss was completely down to the PEDs that I was on. At the end of my cycle, I was on Primo, which is a very, very aggressive, like it causes very aggressive hair loss. I completely lost my hair, basically. My hairline went from like here to all the way back there. So I think personally, I've done the damage. I'm still going to recede because of genetics, but I think it's going to take a lot longer than how it was, basically. If I really do want hair, I think I'll go for a second hair transplant to sort of cover up the areas that are receding, just to postpone it a little bit longer, you know, a few more years down the line. But ultimately, I will likely have to go bald, and I'm okay with that. But I will cling on to my hair as long as possible. I just personally will just not take finasteride. I'd rather feel healthy, feel like a man, have libido, not be depressed. You know, although some people will say if you lose your hair, it's going to make you depressed and having hair will make you happy and whatever. But for me, not personally. I went through a really terrible time with finasteride. So that's just my very personal opinion. You can disagree if you want. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to comment negative things. It's completely down to me. I don't promote it. I don't promote it, and I'm not against it. So that is just my take on why I don't take finasteride. I want to clarify again. So all of my hair loss was down to PEDs. I'm no longer on PEDs. I currently don't have any more receding or thinning. My hair is really thick and healthy, especially, you know, round here at the back. Like, obviously this is a hair transplant, and this is how it looks. So obviously these are implanted hairs. The rest of my hair, absolutely fine. I don't have any more receding. Obviously, like I said, if I do and it's like horrendous, I will either get a second hair transplant or I will just simply go bald. Okay, so a lot of people are going to say that's silly. Absolutely fine. That's just my personal opinion.
Right, so let's break that video down, and fair play to this guy, like a really honest and sort of vulnerable, being quite open about his experience. He's got quite a big following on TikTok. He's a bodybuilder, so a lot of people viewed that, and a lot of people sort of resonated with what he said. A few things that I picked out which were really interesting was he mentioned that DHT is needed in the body, and he's 100% right. There's a reason that finasteride is not prescribed to anyone under the age of 18, and also it's not recommended for women either. For anyone who doesn't know, DHT, which is dihydrotestosterone, is actually a really important sex hormone which plays a key role in developing male characteristics. Now, what male characteristics do we mean? We mean sex hormones, we mean bodily hair growth, developing a deeper voice during puberty, but also it's really important when it comes to muscle growth. Muscle growth, muscle development, and strength. This is really important, especially if you're a male that likes going to the gym and working out. So you can see from what I've just described that DHT is actually a really important hormone for the male body. It's really important in development. Now let's move on to the side effects. You guys knew I was going to go there. So he mentioned that he got some really nasty side effects: depression, low libido, just didn't feel himself. He felt low. He just felt rubbish, as in his own words, he was saying. Now, according to a review from the National Institutes of Health, anywhere from 2.1% to 15.8% of people get side effects with finasteride. That's quite a wide range. So up to 15% can get side effects. That's pretty much like 1 in every 5.5, 1 in every 6 people. That's a lot compared to what's been reported previously. Quite significant, really. And this bodybuilder influencer, he actually said he would rather go bald than take finasteride after his experience. That's quite a statement. He'd rather not have hair and deal with that. That is more appealing to him than actually having a full head of hair but dealing with these intensive side effects. It also likely means that he would need more hair transplants in future. I know he mentioned in the video that he was taking a supplement or something that causes hair loss. I don't buy that. It's clear he already had male pattern baldness and he was suffering from that already. That will take the rest of his hair eventually, so he will need to get further hair transplants once the natural hair on the top of his head that's remaining shrinks and effectively becomes invisible. If he's got the money to do that, great. But a lot of people in this situation, they've probably got enough money for like maybe 1 hair transplant. Imagine if they get side effects from the finasteride. This is why so many people, they have hair transplants, they fail, and then they move on to another option which gives them a more permanent solution. For instance, a hair system or maybe SMP. You don't get any real side effects with hair systems, which is why a lot of people move from hair transplants to hair systems. They don't want to take the medication. They can't afford multiple hair transplants, so they go for the hair system route. Now, for anyone who's been following me for a while, you'll know that I had also a negative experience with finasteride many moons ago. It actually took a long time for the symptoms to actually go away. And in the video, Jack also mentioned post-finasteride syndrome. This isn't definitive. We don't exactly know what this is, what causes it. It's not even been labeled as a legitimate condition yet. That could change, of course. So I don't want to talk and I don't want to speculate too much on that until we have more firm evidence. But I want you to be aware, and the point of this video is that if you do have a hair transplant and you're not willing to take finasteride, you will have to have several more hair transplants down the line, and they are expensive, and you will experience shedding in between the times that you get your hair transplant. So you will have balding and thinning areas. And of course, when the expense is considered, it really doesn't work for everyone. But we do have another case here of someone who's had a really bad experience with finasteride and going so far as to even say, I'd rather go bald after my hair transplant than take finasteride again. So it does really bring this medication into very, very sharp focus. Now, if you are interested in taking the hair transplant route, but you don't want to take the medication because you're worried about side effects, or you've had previous side effects from taking finasteride previously or minoxidil, a hair system might be more suitable for you. I wear hair systems. I've been wearing them for 6 years now. They've changed my life. You can get yourself a 15% discount if you take this option as well. There's my discount code in the description box below, Adam15. You can get it off any stock hair systems from Levivid, and you can use that discount code as many times as you like. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your experience. Have you had a hair transplant? Did they ask you to take finasteride? How did you get on with finasteride? Did you just flat out refuse to take it? Did you get on okay with it? Let me know in the comments box below. Also, if you needed multiple hair transplants, could you afford it? Do you have the budget for it? Let me know. It'd be great to get a conversation going on this. And the very clever people at YouTube have decided that you might want to watch this video next based on your previous watch history. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.